we have different colors. The dogma is, if you have white color, you are more intelligent than the person who has a black color. Okay, that's the dogma. And if you look at the history, see, I always want to talk about very important thing, because people need to understand, like, you need to look at the timeline, you need to look at the history. Like, if they want to hear history, let's teach them history, let's teach them the right things, okay? Because we know they might have even, been manipulative in how they portray the history, how they tell the story and all that. They say the story of the hunting, we always favor the hunter when lion is not telling his own story, right? Okay, anyways, now you see, if you look at the history of humanity, all right, like, let's look at the timeline. Who were the first people that were first on the planet Earth? Who are the first people that evolve as human beings? All right, when you look at the human evolution, when you look at the evolution of Homo sapiens, all right, who are the first set of human beings? You said they were blacks, because even though some of their researchers, they found out, okay, now humanity emanated from Africa, even though they will not say some major part of Africa, but they say, some eastern part of Africa, whatever. Okay, they know humanity emanated from Africa. All right, if humanity emanated from Africa, all right, so which means in the early civilization and development, all that happened because of the blacks. All right, all the things that we now were able to develop on, all right, all the development that we now having were leveraged on from the early development and civilization that were done by the black people. All right, now up to, like, say 14th, 15th century, do you know Africans or black people in the world were the one ruling the world? They were the one civilized. All these things that you're talking about civilization now, do you know there were things that Africans or black people invented that time that up till now they don't know how they invented those things? They don't know how they created those things. Look at the sculptures, the hats that they have in many of their museums in all these European countries. Why do you think they are not returning them back to Africa? Why are they not returning them back to Nigeria, to Benin, where they stole them from? Because they can't just figure out how they made those things. For them, it's a miracle. How did they make, and that's like centuries of years ago. You see that? So if to talk about development, if to talk about creativity, if to talk about innovation, if to talk about civilization, Africans or black people were the frontiers. They were the pioneers of these things. What are these guys talking about? What are these guys dumb or stupid? What are they talking about? When did they start doing whatever this one that they're doing? Africans were the frontiers. They were the pioneers of creativity and intelligence and all the things you can talk about in the world. That was before our people were colonized. Because you need to look at the spillovers of this colonization. Because I tell you that what you are seeing many of our African people or black people in the world, what they are doing now is way below their potentials. I tell you this. So they can't even judge us by what they are seeing now and say, look at these black people, they are just useless people, they are just lazy people, they are just stupid people, they are just sleeping people, they say all kind of nonsense things all over the place. But what about the Africans that were before you guys came? Your demonic spirit, before you came and colonized our land, before you guys came, and that, you see, that wasn't even because we were powerless or we were not strong enough to attack or strike them. That was again also because of our nature as a people. You see, because Africans were known, black people in the world were known to be accommodating people, to be cordial people, to be friendly people, to be loving people, to be hospitable people, and that was why they embraced these strangers. They embraced these strangers, these demons, embraced them into their house, and then they started studying them, they started manipulating them, they started studying them, and then they found their weaknesses, and then they leveraged that, and then they strangulated them, and they overpowered them, and then they took their land, came with all manner of, demonic strategies. They overpowered them, enslaved many of our people. They even use our chiefs, our traditional leaders. They turned their head against themselves, hid their heads against themselves. They were killing themselves, and then they were selling off their slaves, selling off their own people as slaves. You see what exactly can do, because people, they were naive. They were naive and innocent. It's like, okay, they know people can deceive or whatever, but they don't know it could go to that extent. And that's even up to now is what these guys are doing. You see? So there's so much evil going on. So much evil going on. And when we talk about these things, I always tell people, like, it's not just even about Africans. It's not, look, if I am not an African, I will still come and advocate for this justice. I will still come and speak against this evil and wickedness, because this is too much. This is so much. And I don't care if I have white friends or whatever. If anybody get angry, let them get angry. I just know you are part of them. But if you're a reasonable thinking person, you will support what I'm doing, because it's not about race. It's not about like, oh, he's white, he's black, he's purple, he's green. Look at the evil these guys are doing to us. Look at the wickedness. Look at what they're doing to us.